This is certainly a record-breaking winter, and especially January in Michigan for the amount of snow we've had, for our Arctic temperatures, and certainly like to thank whoever created the term polar vortex. Thank you, Walled Lake Schools parents and community, for understanding that school closing decisions really are based on the safety of students. Parents, staff, and Walled Lake Schools community, I'm Ken Gutman, the superintendent here in Walled Lake Schools, and I'd like to take this opportunity to explain our school closing process, to share a couple of interviews I've conducted, to congratulate our Teachers of the Year, and, of course, to update you on some district events. While our students and perhaps sometimes our staff rejoice in snow days, they are a loss of important instructional time. Under the state law, between September and April 1st, we have 6 what are known as forgiven days for power outages and weather-related incidents. After that, days do need to be made up. We have 1 school, Hickory Woods Elementary, that has used 7 days already, and 4 schools, Glengarry, Meadowbrook, Keith Elementary Schools, and also Walled Lake Northern High School, have used all 6 allowable days. The remaining schools all have used 5 days. We will be reviewing what will be needed to ensure we meet the 1,098 hours and 170 student instructional days. At this time, no legislation has been signed for the 2013-2014 school year that grants additional forgiven days and/or hours of instruction or waives the day, hour, or attendance requirements. Please be prepared that we may need to add some instructional days at the end of the year, depending on what happens going forward. Many parents have asked me how I do make school closing decisions, and first, I want you to know I also share your concern for our students' safety and try to make the best decisions that I can. There are a number of variables that factor into my decision as to whether or not to close school, including snowfall, temperature, wind chill, road conditions, ability to start buses, building issues, that sort of thing, and sometimes in combination with each other. I consult with our transportation director, our operations director, a meteorologist, and often with other superintendents. It's rarely an easy decision, but no, please, it's one I take seriously. Considering all factors, including the negative 25 degree below wind chill that is our threshold for the temperature for closing because of the danger of frostbite and other cold maladies, though it is very cold, we do encourage all parents to ensure that their children are dressed appropriately. I hope this helps. This has been a brutally cold winter and could be colder coming forward. I greatly look forward to warmer weather, as I'm sure you do as well. Thanks for your understanding as we move into February and into March. My first guest in this podcast is Robert Schuman, owner of the Schuman Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership in Walled Lake. Mr. Schuman is a graduate of Walled Lake Central High School and the recent chairman of the Detroit Auto Show. Hi, Bob. How are you?
Very good.
Good. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. I know you probably have a very busy schedule. Congratulations on what is really a record-breaking auto show.
You know, it was a wonderful show this year. All of us that were involved in the show are very pleased.
What were some of the highlights of the show?
Well, you know, I had a couple of goals going in. One, we know we have our charity preview event, the biggest one-night charity in North America, maybe the world. Last year, we raised $3.8 million for children's charities in Detroit. So the goal was $4 million. Got to beat the guy last year, right? Well, this year it was beyond expectations. We raised $4.8 million for charity. Another $1 million. We had Sheryl Crow was our entertainer. We had a huge afterglow event called Studio 25 for part of our 25th anniversary, in where the Pistons used to play. The old Cobo Hall arena is now the Grand Ballroom, and it was the first time that room had been used as part of the show. And it was 2,800 people. We squeezed a lot of people in there. We had a band. It was way over the top. It went very well.
So you must have been exhausted when it was done.
Yeah, you know, that was it. Then we had the public show, exceeded the number of people that came the year before, so that was good. The manufacturers all want more space. We had international press from over 60 countries. There was a guy from Mongolia there. Now, I don't know what story he wrote for the folks back in Mongolia. I hope it was good. But, you know, the press, we had over 5,000 members of the press. That's a big part of the Detroit show because that gets us the worldwide reveals. It keeps the pump going. It's all just a big circle and keeps it going so we're #1 next year.
And Detroit really is a great place, isn't it? The city of Detroit?
It is. The city is, you know, I'm a lifetime resident here. You know, I could have lived anywhere in the country when I graduated from law school, but I came back I wanted to stay in the Walled Lake area. Now, I practiced law for a while, but I like this area. I don't see a reason to live anywhere else.
Well, let's talk about that. So you were an attorney, and then you became an auto dealer. How does that happen?
Well, in 4th grade at Union Lake Elementary, which is long ago wiped off the face of the earth, I think it was Mrs. Brent probably is no longer teaching, I hope. But I remember she saying, I used to argue about the answers to the test, and half the time they'd change the answer. They'd say, yeah, maybe you're right. And they'd say, you should be a lawyer. So I think it started then. I just had it in my head. I wanted to be a lawyer. And thank you, Walled Lake Schools. So that's what I did. I went to state, then I got into Michigan law. You know, it was a great school, and became a lawyer at a local firm in Bloomfield Hills. It was the oldest firm in Oakland County. And I went there because you got into trial. You had trial cases really fast. Representing the city of Birmingham, I started doing, prosecuting first-time drunk drivers right out of the box, picking juries and going to court. Absolutely loved it. Did that for 11 years. My dad was ready to retire. It was about 96, 97. I'd become a partner. I kind of had done all the goals of a lawyer, and then it was a lot about bringing in new clients. It starts to sound a lot like selling cars. The family business, the attachment. My grandfather and my dad started in Walled Lake in 1955.
Wow.
A big connection to the community. The thought of the dealership being sold and that name not being there anymore. So I came home and said to my wife, I think I'm going to, leave the practice of law and be a car dealer. And she's, what? And she found out that it means you're not going to be home on Monday and Thursday nights because we're open till 9, 10, or whenever the last customer leaves. But I'm very happy with the change.
You obviously enjoy it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I haven't, I'm the third generation, so I'm the guy who's supposed to run the dealership right into the ground. Hasn't happened yet. We're
You're
still
defying
growing.
the odds.
Yeah, we're still doing well. From a customer satisfaction standpoint, in 2013 we were the #1 dealer in the country. Wow. I mean, by dealer rater, all franchises. Now this last year we're #2. There's a Ford store in Florida. We beat the year before. He got a couple more reviews than we did. We'll get them next year.
Okay,
so we're #2. But you got to go to Florida and buy a 2-wheel drive Ford for a different dealer. So better to stay here in Walled Lake.
Gotcha. Yeah. Not a bad plug for the dealership.
There you go. You got to
pretty
get it
good.
in there.
So you graduated from Central High School, Walled Lake Central,
yep,
79, I believe.
Yep.
I won't tell you where I was then. So then you went on the first, was it the first German exchange trip?
The very first
with
one,
Jim Lewis,
which was 76. And I was a year too young, but we squeezed me in because the argument was, well, there might not be one next year. No one, who knew? When you start something, you don't know if it's going to be there 2 years later. And Herr Linus, I still say Herr Linus, was the other. He was a teacher from Germany. He ended up teaching here for a while, but he was the German connection to the two schools in Garbsen. And I learned a lot from Mr. Lewis. I was thinking about, it really did changed my life. I was kind of a screw-up prior to then. Now, my wife, if she ever watches, will say, well, you still are. But I kind of straightened up after that. And the other thing, we went to East Berlin, and we were on both sides of when the wall was there. And, any illusions you ever had about socialism and communism as a kid, that just going on the other side of the wall and what the experience was very interesting. And then to see the wall ultimately come down, and all of that, and to be part of the, I've kind of stayed in touch with Mr. Lewis over the years, on and off as the years have gone by, and then my son Ethan hosted a German exchange student through the same program, and he went to Germany. So it's really the whole connection of it all.
What was his experience like?
He loved it. He loved it. And we had the folks that he stayed with came and stayed, they came and stayed with us. A couple of different families that we've been involved with have come and stayed with us for their, a vacation in the summer or whatnot. So the connections go back. I'm Facebook buddies with some of the people that I was with on the exchange, some of the German folks. So we've stayed in touch over there. And it's a long time, I guess.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Yeah.
What a great experience.
Yeah, it was.
So now your daughter Hannah's about to graduate.
Allegedly, yes. No, she is. And both my kids, they're very smart. They've got over 4.0 averages. I shouldn't say that maybe, but I'm very proud of them.
No, you should be proud. As a father, how can you not be proud of over a 4.0?
Yeah.
Ethan's doing well. Hannah's about to graduate. What do you think about your experiences here in Walled Lake Schools?
I have nothing but good things to say, for the most part. No, I have only good things to say. I've been very happy. I've been very happy both when I was a student, and I think all the changes that have happened. I mean, Western was brand new. I think I was here like the first week they opened the pool. I think about that every time I come here. That's how far back I go. I remember when there wasn't a Walled Lake Western. But overall, we've been very happy. My two kids have been very involved in the musical programs. My son was a drum major when they won the state championship in the band, and my daughter's been very involved in the musicals, and she plays the viola. So they have gone the music route. There are other routes. You can go through sports, you can go through other activities to get that little extra leadership or whatever it is. I've been very happy with the whole. I go to every parent-teacher conference. I know all the teachers that my kids have had. Been very happy, very impressed the whole 9 yards.
Well, let's talk about that. So you and your wife have been very active, involved parents in the district.
Well, yeah. If you've ever been in the Walled Lake, part of the Walled Lake Central Marching Band, you have to be an active parent.
True.
It's a cult.
Well,
so.
but look how much success there is.
It
What
is.
a great band. So you've both been so involved. What do you say about that? How important is it for parents to be involved in their children's education?
Well, it's fun. Number one, why wouldn't you want to be? It's been great fun for us. And you can't do everything. We all have work and we have other obligations. But to get the chance to do what you can, to be involved, to find out what's going on, I think the teachers like it to see you there every once in a while. They put a face with the name. Oh, their parents actually care. On all kinds of levels, it helps. Just to know what's going on, to be part of the community.
Sure, and it makes a difference. Studies show it makes a huge difference in kids' education. So we have this saying here. We like to say it's about every child, every day. We try to provide as many educational opportunities as we can for every student attending our schools. As an alumnus of our schools, how are we doing?
I think you're doing a great job. And if you weren't, I would tell you. I'm not just blowing smoke here, as we say in my business, selling cars.
Sure.
You know, I really think that the Walled Lake District is a great district. And my kids started out at Pleasant Lake. They went to Walnut Creek. I mean, I haven't just popped in here. I've seen the whole thing. I live in the district. I talk to a lot of people every day at the dealership. I'm very happy with Walled Lake Schools.
Well, I love that answer. It wouldn't surprise you to hear that I love that answer. So one more question that was not part of what we talked about. So can you talk before we conclude about this pin that you're wearing? It just looks fascinating.
Right. This is, you only get this if you're chairman of the North American International Auto Show. So there's actually, it was our 25th anniversary, but there's been 26 chairmen, because your anniversary isn't the day you're born, it's your birthday. We got in a little trouble with that last year. We thought it was the 25th, but that's another story. So you only get this. Now, Keith Crane, publisher of Automotive News, big part of getting the show started. He has one, and a couple other gentlemen have one that were there at the very beginning. But that's how you get it. It's the Auto Show Lady. It's called the North American, the Lady, and then you get some diamonds. I'm not sure if they're real or not. They probably are.
They look real.
But I remember when Vice President Biden came to the show this year, and gave him a tour, and there I was with the Vice President, Sergio Marchionne, Chrysler's leader, and me in the Secret Service huddle, doing the show. And Mr. Marchionne pointed to this and said, "That's not a competitive brand in it." And I go, no, it's the auto show. Don't take my dealership away. It's okay. So yeah, I'm very proud of the pin.
Wow, it has a little bling to it.
Yeah,
So listen, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I know you're busy and appreciate the time you've taken to come in and share your experiences with us and those of your family. And we certainly wish you nothing but success in the future.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you. Each year, each one of our 19 outstanding Walled Lake schools selects a Teacher of the Year. Then the Walled Lake Schools Teacher of the Year Committee selects one elementary, one middle school, and one high school Teacher of the Year. Here's a video of some of the surprise visits I made to announce our 2014 Teachers of the Year. Good morning, Mrs. Russell. How are you?
Whoa.
Attention for just a minute.
Elementary teachers. Oh, now you want elementary?
I have to tell you
Oh, wait, I'm on TV.
that of all of the 12 elementary schools here in Walled Lake Schools, of all of the teachers who teach in them, there's only one elementary Teacher of the Year. Do you know who that is? Mrs. Russell. Congratulations. If I can have everyone's attention for just 1 minute, please. We have 4 very large middle schools here in Walled Lake, and of those 4 large middle schools, we have a lot of teachers. And of all of the teachers in all of the middle schools and all of Walled Lake schools, this year's middle school Teacher of the Year is Mrs. May. I congratulate you. Let's have our applause for Mrs. May.
I'm good. I'm afraid.
Good, you should be.
I'm gonna run.
No, stay with me. Stay with me. And I just have everyone's attention for a minute. I know you're working hard, but we have 3 big high schools in this district and a lot of high school teachers. And of all of the high school teachers in all of Walled Lake schools, Mrs. Andrusiak is the high school Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our Teachers of the Year, and to Kathy Russell, Wixom Elementary District Elementary Teacher of the Year, Erin Main from Clifford Smart, District Middle School Teacher of the Year, and Whisper Andrusiak, Walled Lake Northern District High School Teacher of the Year. Walled Lake Central, Walled Lake Northern, and Walled Lake Western annually have several young women and men who get full-ride scholarships for both academics and for athletics. Kyle Bambard, Walled Lake Western Senior, signed his letter this week to be the place kicker for North Carolina State. Kyle was named All-State for 2010, 2011, 2012, and 2013 as a kicker and as a quarterback. He was an All-State Dream Team player, a finalist for the Mr. Football Award. He was All-Conference Metro Area and District. He holds 17 school records for kicking, punting, and quarterbacking. And Kyle, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I know you'd rather be in class, so it means a lot that you stepped out for this. So you have a pretty impressive record with football, and you've been very successful at Western. So now the next step, why North Carolina State?
Well, to me, the question's really why not North Carolina State. To me, you kind of look at the tangibles. They've got great facilities. You know, the first thing you see when you walk in, right, a massive stadium. They're going to upgrade it so it starts to hold 80,000. You know, they're going to have a new indoor stadium that's going to be built in the next couple years. And then really the coaching staff is the next thing. I can't tell you how many times I've been around the country, you know, around schools where, you know, you'll be in contact with a coach and they're saying, oh, we want to offer you, you know, you're a #1 guy, and then you never hear from them again. But NC State was really straightforward with me from the start, and everything that they said they were going to do, they did. And Coach Faulkner, who's going to be my positional coach, he's been great with me, and it's just a great fit for me.
Excellent. Do you have dreams of going pro someday?
That's the goal right now, definitely.
Okay.
Aim high, I guess, and you know, if you fall a little short, no big deal. But you know, if you want to go there,
Well,
chase it.
let's talk about aiming high. You've taken IB courses, you've taken AP courses, and if the NFL thing doesn't work out, you're thinking about criminal justice, right?
I am thinking about criminal justice and also coaching as well.
Okay. So what classes have helped you the most when you think about potentially being a criminal justice or coaching?
One class that really stands out to me is IB English, the International Baccalaureate, and a specific reason for that is the modern way in which it's taught to kids, and to me it really makes a difference. You know, you're not studying these old British literature, you know, things that you usually study in English. It's really modern, and it focuses on, you know, like communication in the modern society and things like that. And Miss Terry, who's actually the teacher of it, makes a huge difference. She's always peppy and things like that. So that's definitely the class that's, you know, influenced me the most.
Okay, now who are some of the other, you named one teacher, who are some of the other teachers who've really been your mentors or helped you out?
Well, if you want to consider Zadepsky a teacher, you know,
Absolutely.
I did have him for weights.
He is technically a teacher,
yeah,
so
that he
I
is, that he
consider
is.
him one.
He's been huge, you know, on and off the field, and in the classroom. He's always preaching good grades. You know, he's always preaching, you know, make the right decisions outside of school. So he's honestly been someone who's, you know, always there for you, and made a huge difference in my life.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure he'll appreciate you saying that as
Yeah.
well, although I don't think it'll surprise him.
Yeah.
So let's say you do go the criminal justice route. Where would you see yourself fitting in there? What area?
Yeah, I haven't thought too far into it. Perhaps, you know, police officer, fire department, things like that. But as far as that goes, you know, I kind of want to take my, you know, common courses and, you know, get into it a little bit before I make any big decisions.
Well, there's no rush. And how
Yeah,
many
for
times
sure.
does the average college student switch majors? I don't know if
A
it's 2 or
lot.
more now.
Yeah.
Our counselors would know. It used to be 2 when I was there, and I achieved that. So
Yeah.
I know the football team, Wild Lake Western football team, received the Spicer Community Service Award
That's right.
several times in your 4 years here. In fact, you were active in the Warriors for Warriors Pink Out football game, correct? And you volunteer at elementary schools.
That's right.
So talk about why it's important to volunteer and participate in community service.
Well, to me, it's huge because, you know, I was in those little kids' shoes when Western players were visiting, you know, for the spring fair or whatever it was. So, you know, I've been in their shoes, and you're looking up at these Western football players, you know, in their jerseys, and, you know, everything's so cool. And so to be able to give back and be in that role, in that role model position, it really means a lot to me. And, you know, going back to Wixom Elementary and everything like that. And as far as Warriors for Warriors go, you know, that's something this year with Kayla, this year was absolutely huge to me, and it meant a lot because, you know, seeing her and meeting her family over the course of that week, she visited practice one day. You kind of see, you know, the struggles in your life that don't nearly amount to, you know, she's fighting for her life every day. And, you know, so when you really sit down and meet her and talk to her a little bit, she's really just the sweetest person. And, you know, it meant a lot to be able to wear her name on the back of my jersey and play for her.
You know, that was such an incredible game, too, just to see, just the ceremony before the game, if not the game itself. And it's so nice to see everyone giving back.
For sure.
There's a lot of spirit of community service here at Western.
Oh, yeah.
What else have you liked about Western? What's been probably your best experience here at Western?
Oh, geez. To be honest, it's probably the football. Kind of cliche, but, you know, I played my first Western football game before I had my first day of school.
Right.
So, you know, that's probably going to be something that I remember the most. And, you know, just the band of brothers, you know, that you create over the past 4+ years. And it's something that, you know, you're going to continue to have throughout college and the rest of your life. You know, whether you don't see them for 20 years or you end up being best friends with them. And definitely just the camaraderie of Western, you know, you get a huge student section every Friday night. You know, everybody comes out to support, you know, whether you're in band or TV production or anything like that. You know, no one really hates the football team or anything like that. So definitely just everybody coming together and just supporting the football team has been huge.
Okay, so in 10 years, what contribution would you
Long
like
way
to be
away.
making? It's a
That's
a long way away.
Can't imagine it.
Well, but when you get there, let's look forward. Let's begin with the end in mind. So it's 10 years from now. What contribution are you going to be making to society?
Oh, geez. Well, if it's not the NFL, you know, I guess I just want to be some type of role model to somebody. You know, whether it's, you know, in a job somewhere, you know, working to get to the top, or, you know, if it's just somewhere, you know, small in the community. I definitely want to be viewed as somebody who is a role model and that can, you know, be depended on for just about anything. So
I'm guessing you already are a role model.
I'm hoping that's
I
right.
think you probably already are. So I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you very
I hope
much.
you have the rest of your senior year. I hope is a lot of fun. You learn a lot. And I wish you nothing but success at NC State and wherever you go after.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks,
Appreciate
Kyle.
it.
I'm taping this just prior to the official National High School Football Signing Day. Here's a list of all of the Walled Lake Schools athletes that we know of as of the first week in February. We will continue to update this list and share the information in upcoming editions of Learning and on our district website. Congratulations to all of our high school students who have signed letters to play sports on the collegiate level next year. There is always a lot happening in our schools. I'd like to personally invite you to 2 high school performing arts productions, Tarzan the Musical at Walled Lake Northern High School, and of course, Almost Maine at Walled Lake Western High School. Please access the district website for the times and ticket information. Like all of our plays, you will not want to miss these performances. I also would like to bring your attention to an important meeting about our International Baccalaureate Diploma Program on Monday, February 10th at 6:30 p.m. in the Clifford Smart Middle School Media Center. The International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, or IB program, provides a challenging, internationally focused, broad and balanced educational experience for junior and senior students. Students work with IB-trained teachers to study rigorous coursework that prepares them for post-secondary success. The diploma program is recognized by universities across the world. Please use our district mobile app, our district website, Facebook, Twitter, and of course WLTV to stay up to date on Walled Lake Schools happenings. Have you liked Walled Lake Schools on Facebook? If not, you should do so now so you may receive daily updates. I thank you, as always, for the privilege to serve every child, every day.